What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Stoop. Back at the Stoop. Uh, it's been a minute, and I know I ain't dropped no joints in a minute, but it's been a very busy few weeks, couple months. So, big announcement coming soon. Like I might have announced before, I got a big announcement coming soon. So y'all stay patient with your boy, and I'm get back on this grind because I got a lot of big ideas in the next few weeks and months. Um, it's coming, so y'all get with me. Um, I wanna I wanna share a story with y'all. Last week, I had the esteemed pleasure of joining my homeboy Joe Demonstrar. Shout out to Joe. Um, we talk on the phone, every so often, and he always kept talking about he want to get everybody that we used to work with at the prison together. Just get together. Let's go break bread or something. I always thought it was a good idea. So I kept telling him, just let me know when and where. And with work and life and everything, can't up and go like you want to go. So eventually he got up the gumption to go ahead and make a reservation for a spot in Raleigh. And I guess he sent it to whoever he sent it to. And for the most part, most of the people did show up. Uh, Shout out to my boy Domino Clark. Shout out to Big Ahmad Green. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man Boswell. Shout out to him. Again, shout out to Joe. Shout out to our girl Bird. Shout out to her. And shout out to the celebrity of the group now. Shout out to Miss Foot. Shout out to her. She showed up, which I didn't think she would, but she showed up. And we had a good time. It was a good time. We sat around, swapped old stories, broke bread. And the funny part about it, and this is a little bit of tea, I'm going to spill some tea right now, is while we were at the prison, all of us as a collective, I had the pleasure and the honor of being somewhat promoted to from a CO to working intake, because working intake is a Monday through Friday job versus working on the unit. You have that, you're off work 3, off 2, work 2, off 3. You had that rotation, which is not a bad rotation, but you don't you only when you work at intake, you're only working 8 hours. So anyway, I had the esteemed pleasure of moving up from when me and Joe started. We started on green unit. He went to gray unit before I did, but I eventually did go to gray unit. We worked on gray unit. That's how I know everybody. And went from gray unit to intake. Worked at intake, and then from intake went on to become what they used to call the STG officer. STG stood for Security Threat Group, but because of politics and bullshit, they changed it from STG to SRG, Security Risk Group. And I had the esteemed pleasure of becoming the SRG officer after the original. I mean the original. I do mean original. He was the OG. He was the mold. He decided to move on, do other things. He didn't want to be SRG officer no more, even though he was, whether he wanted to be or not. Anyway, I took his spot, and it came with a lot of hate. It came with a lot of backlash. It came with a lot of uh, people that didn't they smiled in your face but talk shit about you behind your back. I learned that. Even the very people that I work close with. That's why a lot of people uh, from the prison I don't really associate with anymore because of that. They, they act like I don't know, but I know, and that wasn't the reason I left. That was totally something else, but it was one of the reasons why didn't want the job after having it for as long as I had. I think I had it almost a year. So anyway, back to our little social gathering. So anyway, like I said, week before last week before, we went out, met everybody. Everybody, enjoyed each other's company. But as I was sitting there, I'm looking around. I'm looking at everybody, enjoying everybody's company and everybody eating, having a good time. And everybody up there, with the exception of a couple people, I had their case on my desk. And the funny part about it also is that it was like I'm sitting there looking at like this. This is where everybody was, and look where we are now. Like it's not how you start; it's how you finish. And everybody's far from done. We're far from finished. So it gave me a good feeling to know that didn't define anyone as a person. We moved on. We grew up. The biggest success story, and I would love for her to really sit down and tell her story. If you're listening, if you're out there, if you happen to be watching, love to tell your story because you have a story to tell. Is Miss Foot? She had the worst of it, and I'm not even going to get into what went on. That's for her to tell. But she had the worst of it. But she came out better than anybody could have thought, and she's winning. Like, fuck what you heard. She's winning. I want to sit down and I want to interview her so bad because she has a dope story to tell. She's a dope person, regardless. So, if you ain't got nothing else to do, look her up on Facebook, man. I'm telling you, she that chick. She that chick out there. But the funny part is with, like I said, when I was in that position, everybody's, with the use of forces and the contraband, I had everybody's name on my desk. I knew everything was going on with everybody. So to sit there and watch everybody socialize and interact with you, and I'm sitting there looking at everybody like, and I was just sitting there thinking like, wow, this is where we were, and this is, where we are. And I didn't throw anybody under the bus and put their business out in the street, because to me it's in the past, and that's exactly where it should stay. But I thought it was funny as I was sitting there and I'm looking at each and every one. Like I say, with the exception of a couple, there was some people that had some dirt. I had dirt on them, lack of a better term. But nothing I would ever use or do with, because it was just the nature of the business. In the position that I had, I was privy to a lot of information, a lot of sensitive information, a lot of confidential information to this day that I still haven't shared, because I had that conversation with the OG, that the reason I was picked for this position, because you're not that type to go telling everything. See, everybody at the time couldn't hold water. I had a whole relationship going on that nobody knew about. They assumed, speculated, but you never heard nobody say anything. So that was kind of the reason I was chosen. And to this day, I tell people I didn't apply for that shit. I was chosen. Okay? And because I was chosen, a lot of people started hating. So that's why it's fuck them for the rest of for life, because you hating on, don't hate on me because I was chosen. Hate on the motherfucker that chose me. Like, why you choose him? And I'm pretty sure they got that conversation because I've had that conversation. But anyway, it was great to see everybody together again. It was great to see everybody in good spirits. Everybody was healthy. There was a couple people out there that were invited that didn't come. One in particular, I'm glad they didn't because it would have been up. And I look forward to doing it again. I really do. It's those it's that camaraderie, it's those bonds that are for life. Like me and Joe, we clicked as soon as we started working together. We've been cool ever since then. You know, um, that's what it means to me. Those bonds mean to me, and they're special. Just because we're not all working in the same place, don't mean we can't be cool with each other no more. We friends, as far as I'm concerned. We're friends, and that's for life. You know, so I look forward to doing it again. To those that I shouted out, I salute all of you. I wish everyone nothing but the best, continued success, and until we can do it again, that's it. That's it. You know, not a whole lot of tea, but a little bit of tea. You know, like I said, I don't put people business out there like that. But anyway, um, as usual, like and subscribe. Welcome to the Stoop. I appreciate everyone that watches. I appreciate everyone that comments. And I look forward to doing this again and again and again. I'm gonna keep putting out new content. I got some big news coming your way. I got some. It's gonna be up. I just need y'all to hang with me. I got some ideas. I'm gonna reach out to some people, and we gonna see what's to it. Okay, y'all be out. Peace.